This is the tutorial for how to fill out your fitness Excel spreadsheet. Keep in mind, everyone's scores will vary depending upon your current fitness level and the number of fitness scores your class has due to being in health or in the gym. Feel free to watch this again if you forget a step or you think you need more directions for your task. Let's begin. By this point, you should be logged into Moodle and into your Skyward account for this class. Scroll down in Moodle until you come to Day 2. Underneath Day 2, you will find the Personal Fitness Score spreadsheet. Go ahead and click on that to open it. It may take a few minutes depending on how many kids are trying to open the file at once. Once you see the file download screen, go ahead and click Open. Again, you may need to wait a few minutes before the file actually opens. As you're waiting, don't click on anything else because that will just add time to your wait. Watch at the bottom of your toolbar down here and you will watch for the flashing Excel symbol. Once you see the symbol, go ahead and click on it. It will ask you to connect back into Moodle. I'm not sure why it gives you this step, and I found that you usually have to input the information more than once before it goes through. Usually it takes me 3 times before it actually works, so keep trying and be patient. The username and password is the same as the one that you use to log into Moodle. Again, if it doesn't work, go ahead and enter the information again. And like I said, usually it takes me 3 tries before it actually takes the information. Once the information is submitted and the computer accepts it, go ahead again and wait patiently for the Excel spreadsheet to open. You'll find that a blank spreadsheet will open. Go ahead and maximize that spreadsheet so that you can have a clear view of it. You'll notice that the spreadsheet is separated out into 3 different sections. The first section is our data entry section. That's this section here. The second section is where your chart or your graph will go. And your third section is your fitness standard zones. Now, let's focus mostly here on our data entry since that's what we'll be doing today. If you notice at the bottom of the screen, you'll find that there's a tab for each of our tests. The mile run, the 15-minute pacer, curl-ups, push-ups. We're going to focus on the mile run for this tutorial. Let's look at the data entry section. The date is where you put the information or the day that you actually did that activity. So every date that we ran the mile, you would go ahead and enter in one of these boxes. The healthy fitness zone, this is where you put in your healthy fitness zone. You can get that information from the healthy fitness zone chart underneath the graph. You'll need to find your age. Once you find that, go ahead and go straight across and you'll find your healthy fitness zone. Choose the highest time or number in that zone and add it to your spreadsheet. This info will not change unless you have a birthday, so you can actually fill this in to a couple of the columns as you're waiting. If I look, I notice that I'm 12 and my healthy fitness zone would be 12 to 9 minutes, so choosing the highest square, I'm going to go ahead and put in 12 minutes in several different boxes because that's where, if I can type, there we go. And that's where I put in my healthy fitness zone. Because I know I'm not having a birthday, so that information is not going to change. Our next column then is our goal time. Okay, the goal time is basically what you're going to be setting, or your goal is to be in that healthy fitness zone. So if you haven't set goals before, we're going to remember back to what we did on day one and look at those things on how to set goals that will be easy for us to accomplish and how we can work towards those. For some of the tests, you've already done them and maybe you didn't set a goal. So we'll use our prior time as our goal time because usually we want to try and beat the time that we had before because that shows improvement. So our goal times will go here. For our first one, we probably would just use our healthy fitness zone as our goal time. Our actual time is the actual time it took us to do the activity or the actual number that we have. So that would be, what was your actual score? The healthy fitness zone question mark, that's basically asking you, did you get inside your healthy fitness zone, yes or no? So to do that, basically we look at our actual time, we look at our healthy fitness zone time, and we decide, did we get into that zone? If it's yes, go ahead and click on that, type in a Y, and then you're going to have to hit backspace to get rid of that N, and there you have it. You can go down to the next one, and if it was an N, go ahead and type in N, and then you move down as you go. Our last column is, what will I do to improve my score? In this column, you'll type out a specific thing that you're willing to do to help you accomplish your goal. What you're going to do is go ahead and click on that box. You'll notice that there's an edit box or a comment box that pops up. Once you click here, go ahead and then right click, and then you'll move down to edit comment. At that point, you can then type in what you would like to put that's going to help you improve your score. At that point then, we can go ahead and move forward. You'll notice part 2 is our graph. We've already put in our healthy fitness zone, which is 12 minutes. That's this line here. It automatically graphed for us. Anything below that line means that you're underneath your healthy fitness zone, and that's good. Anything above that line would mean that you're not in the healthy fitness zone yet, and we still need some improvement. Now that you know about the spreadsheet and what the basics are of that, let's see how you would actually enter your personal data. Without closing the spreadsheet, click on the minimize button. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and you'll be adjusting that in just a minute. You should already have your Skyward account open. Go ahead and click on the gradebook for this class. Once you have that information, go ahead and hit minimize. Okay? You're then going to adjust it so that it will only fit in a little portion of your screen. You don't want it taking up the whole screen because then you have to go back and forth. So we have it adjusted here so that I can see just the mile run times. That's really all I need. I'll then make sure that I have my Healthy Fitness Zone spreadsheet open, and I can adjust and make that bigger or smaller, but that way I can type on both, or I can type on this and see my scores at the same time. So our first column is the date. Looking here at my Skyward, I notice our first mile run was 11:10:11. So I go to my date, I type in 11:10:11, and then my Healthy Fitness Zone I already determined was 12 minutes. So my goal time for this run would be 12 minutes. Since I've already done it and I didn't set a goal, I figured I better get in my Healthy Fitness Zone. My actual time, I then go here underneath comments for that run. It says mile run time 11:57. So in this box, I'll go ahead and write in 11:57. Was that in my Healthy Fitness Zone? Yes, it was. So I can go ahead and keep the Y there. What will I do to improve my score? Well, I don't have anything there yet. So again, go ahead and highlight that square, right click, go down to edit comment, and then type in what you're going to do. Let's see. I will run 3 times a week after school. Okay, that seems like something I could probably do. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back over and now find my next score. So, on 11:11, I ran the mile again. So 11:11:11. Again, my goal time, or my Healthy Fitness Zone, is 12 minutes. My actual time was 11:57. So since I didn't set a goal before, I'm going to use that as my new goal time. Okay? I then need to look at my actual time. So for that run, I ran 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So a little bit of improvement. Was I in my healthy fitness zone? Yes, I was, so I need to change that. Now I need to figure out what am I going to do to improve my score. I've got a new goal, okay, so I need to figure that out. I'll go ahead and highlight that square, right click, down to edit comments, and now I need to type in something new. Let's see. Running 3 times a week seems to be helping. I will try and play basketball after school on the days I don't run. Okay, so now I've got another thing that I'm going to try to do to help improve my score. I'm going to go back over here. Let's find my next mile run was on 11:18:11. So type in 11:18:11. My healthy fitness zone is the same. My new goal time would be 11:30 since that was my old time. And what did I actually run that in? I ran it in 11:15. Great. So 11:15. Okay, was I in my healthy fitness zone? I highlight the box, type in yes. Now, what am I going to do to maybe improve even more? Let's see, I'll go ahead and highlight, right click, edit comment, and now I'll type in basketball and running seem to be helping, but the running is kind of boring by myself, so I will invite a friend to run with me. Okay, now we're going to head back over. We'll put in our last mile run, which is on 12:29:11. So 12:29:11. Okay, 11:15 was my last time, so I want to try and beat that. But I look and, oh, 12:30. I must have had a bad day. So 12:30 was my time. Let me fix that. Okay, was that in my healthy fitness zone? No, it wasn't, so I need to put an N. Okay, now I need to figure out what I'm going to put. So again, highlight the square, right click, edit comment. I wasn't feeling well. I didn't get to run this week, but I think I will continue trying to run with my friend and play basketball after school. Okay? I think you get the idea of how you're going to be filling this out. Remember, you're going to fill this out for each of the categories down below: mile run, 15-minute pacer, curl-ups, and push-ups. You'll notice now, if you look at your chart section, the chart is automatically updated for you. You'll notice, let me slide over just a little, you'll notice that the darker line is your healthy fitness zone. Remember, anything underneath that healthy fitness zone meant you were in the zone and you were doing well. Okay? Anything above this dark line means that you didn't quite get there and we're going to work on getting back underneath that line. The lighter gray is your goal time. So this was our goal. So again, staying underneath that means that we've accomplished our goal. Your actual time is this kind of in the middle gray. And you'll notice we actually met our goal for everything except our very last run where we weren't feeling very well, and so now we're up here. Okay? Keep that in mind as you go through. Again, if you need to watch this tutorial again to get any information or reminders, feel free to do so.